Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime drama from the books of the FBI. This is Your FBI. The program originally broadcast on June 6, 1947, and this is the story of the Fugitive Traveler.
The Equitable Life Assurance Society presents This is Your FBI. This is Your FBI, the official broadcast from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Presented as a public service by the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community. Tonight's FBI file, The Fugitive Traveler.
There are more than 5,000 crimes committed in the United States every day. When you pause to think about that fact, your mind conjures up the dark streets of a big city late at night. But the experience of your FBI in dealing with crimes in every one of the 48 states is that crimes don't happen because of geography, but because of people. Crimes are being committed tonight in crowded tenement slums and in peaceful moonlit valleys because there's a criminal present in each case. It is true that there are more crimes committed in big cities, but no section of the nation is so remote that it remains isolated from the crime wave. Tonight's FBI file opens in a farmhouse located in the hilly section of one of our eastern states. It is early evening. A young girl is seated alone on the back steps of this hillside dwelling. In a valley below, a passenger train moves swiftly through the dusk. The girl watches the train. Her eyes follow it intently.
What? Oh, what is it, Aunt Bessie?
I've been calling you for the last 5 minutes.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did you bring in some wood?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you feed the chickens?
Yes.
Did you bring in the eggs?
I think I did.
Well, where are they?
Didn't I put them on the kitchen table?
No.
Oh, I must have left them in the barn.
In the barn? Why?
I just forgot them, I guess.
Well, go get them.
Oh, Aunt Bessie, please, not right now. Just let me wait till the train goes around the hill.
Oh, good heavens, child. When will you stop this foolish nonsense? Mooning over trains, mooning over books, mooning over going to far-off places.
I'll get the eggs.
If you just give a little more thought once in a while to the fact that I'm an old woman trying to run this farm all by myself, and at least that a strong young girl like yourself...
I'm getting them, Aunt Bessie.
Well, try and remember to bring them right back in the house. You still have to do the dishes, and the icebox needs cleaning.
I know.
Trains, books, far-off places.
Mister.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Never mind.
Look at your arm. It's bleeding.
Yeah.
Let me go in the house.
Who else is in that house?
My aunt.
Is that all?
Yes, just the two of us. How did you get here? Where did you come from?
I fell off a train, a freight train.
Oh. That's how you were hurt?
Yeah, that's it.
I see.
Look, I just want to rest a while, then I'll get out of here.
But you're bleeding so you need a doctor.
I'll find my own doctor.
Did you come from far away?
What's that to you?
I just wondered.
Nan? Nan?
Who is that?
My aunt, I've got to go.
Wait a minute. Do me a favor, a big favor. Don't tell her I'm here.
Why?
Just do me that favor, please.
All right. I'll come back later.
Some 50 miles away from the lonely farmhouse in a nearby city at the local FBI field office, Special Agent Jim Taylor is approaching the desk of the agent in charge.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Henderson?
Yes, Jim, come in.
All right, sir.
Jim, you're about finished with the Brooks case, aren't you?
Yes, I dictated my full report this morning.
Good. We just received a teletype that you can go to work on.
Oh, what's it about?
A criminal named Ralph alias Rip Gibson was being transported here from the penitentiary to testify at a federal trial.
Yes.
He was traveling by train, had an armed guard with him.
I see.
While en route, he requested to go to the washroom. Guard consented. Once he was in there, Gibson smashed the washroom window and jumped off.
While the train was in motion?
Yes.
Well, when did the guard discover this?
Almost immediately. He heard the glass crash and rushed to the train platform, saw Gibson rolling down the embankment. Fired at him, believes he wounded him.
But Gibson still got away.
Yes.
When did all this happen, sir?
Several hours ago.
Any trace of him since?
No. The train was stopped. Searching party was organized. But Gibson must have found some means of transportation that took him out of the immediate neighborhood.
Well, if the guard did wound him and it's serious enough, he'll most likely be needing medical attention and so...
We've already notified all doctors in the escape area. Local police are cooperating, too.
Oh, good.
I want you to stand by, Jim.
All right.
As soon as we get a definite lead, we'll go to work.
Hello.
Hello.
How's your arm?
Okay, I guess.
I brought some bandage, some water. Maybe you'd like me to take care of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd have been out sooner, but I had to wait till my aunt went to bed.
Didn't tell her about me.
No. I've got to rip your shirt sleeve. It may hurt a little.
All right, I won't mind.
Sorry.
Okay.
Now let me bathe it.
Yeah, sure.
I've got to get the wound clean first. The bullet went right through, didn't it?
What bullet?
The one the guard fired at you.
What are you talking about?
I know who you are.
What is this?
I just heard the report on the radio. Your name is Gibson, Rip Gibson. You escaped from your guard, jumped from a moving train. He shot at you.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about.
They gave you a description. Now, just lift your shoulder a little.
Did your aunt hear this report?
No.
Did you tell anybody else?
No. Please lift your shoulder.
Okay.
That's fine. Now I can put the bandage on.
Look, Miss,
Nan. Nan Carroll.
Nan. Why didn't you blow a whistle?
What do you mean?
Why didn't you call the cops? Let them know I'm here.
Doesn't matter.
I want to know.
I know what it's like to be caged.
Huh?
To not be able to get away. Be free. I've spent my whole life right here.
Oh.
Anyone who can escape from anything, I envy.
I get it.
That's the best I can do with the bandage.
Well, thanks.
I better go now. There's some milk and cheese that I brought out. I'll bring you a real meal in the morning.
Swell.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, Mr. Henderson.
Yes, what is it, Jim?
If you've got the time, sir, I'd like to have you give a report on Ralph Gibson.
Let's have it.
All right. Well, 2 hours ago, we received word from a witness who saw a man answering to Gibson's description hop a freight train about half a mile from the point where he jumped.
I see.
This witness was a railroad employee. He said the train was a westbound freight. Its destination was a point about 50 miles down the line, Centerville to be exact.
This was 2 hours ago?
That's right, sir.
The train should be there by now.
Yes, I know. I've already contacted the yards. Some railroad detectives are going to search the train for me.
Good.
We have no guarantee, of course, that he didn't jump off somewhere en route.
I know. Excuse me.
Sure.
Anderson speaking. Yeah, just a minute. It's for you, Jim.
Oh, here you go. Thanks. Hello. Yes. Oh, hello there. Really? Well, did you pick up any other clues? Yeah, I see. Well, thanks a lot. Right. Goodbye. That was the Centerville Railroad Police.
What do they have?
A coat that they positively identified as belonging to Gibson was found in one of the freight cars.
But no sign of him?
No, they feel he jumped off somewhere en route. Oh, by the way, there was a bullet hole in the coat, and it was quite heavily stained with blood, so he was wounded.
Jim, I suggest that you alert the local police all along that 50-mile route.
Right, sir.
Then arrange for a crew to cover the tracks. See if you can pick up any evidence on where he jumped off that freight.
Yes, Aunt Bessie.
Where have you been all morning?
I just went out a half hour ago.
Well, where did you go?
I took a walk.
What were you doing in the barn?
The barn?
I just saw you coming out of there.
I was putting away some tools.
Oh.
I think I'll go.
Wait a minute.
What?
That plate in your hand, that's my best china. What were you doing with it?
I just picked it up.
You had it in your hand when you came in.
Well, if you must know, I used it to feed the chickens.
My best china?
I'm sorry, Aunt Bessie.
Wait. Huh? What's that all over your apron?
Where?
Right there. Looks like blood.
Oh.
It is blood.
I cut my finger.
Let me see it.
Please, Aunt Bessie, leave me alone.
Now, just a minute, young lady.
But there's no point making a fuss over just a little cut. I'm going to go upstairs and fix it right now. Rip.
Back here.
Oh, you were able to move.
Yeah. I thought you weren't coming back till later.
Something's happened.
What?
It's my aunt.
She knows I'm here?
No, but she saw me come from the barn before, and she saw the plate and some bloodstains on my apron. I didn't know how to handle it. That's why I came here. What should I do?
Let me think.
I won't let her come into the barn. I promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she wants to.
Wait a minute. Tell me something about her, will you?
What?
She got a car?
Yes.
She's around here now?
Yes.
How's she fixed?
I don't know what you mean.
Has she got dough, money?
Well, she has a bank account, yes.
Oh. How much you keeping it?
I don't know for sure.
Well, about how much?
Well, the last time she gave me her bank book to take into town, there was $800.
Geez, huh? That ain't too bad.
Why do you want to know all this?
Well, I'll tell you, honey. I feel sorry for you. Real sorry, see? A kid like you should get a chance to live big.
Yes?
I'm going to give you that chance.
How?
By taking you away from here.
Oh.
Well, of course, we're going to need some cash and a car. That you got to get from your aunt.
Oh, she'd never help us. I'm sure she wouldn't.
Honey, she won't have much to say about it.
Huh?
We're taking.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Look, you told me last night you've been spending your whole life in a cage. This is your chance, baby. Your chance to bust out.
I know.
If you don't take it, you'll spend the rest of your life in this trap. You can sit here watching trains.
Wait.
Huh?
Look out the window. My aunt's coming.
Coming here?
Yes. I'll stall her. Keep her out.
Hold it.
But she's...
Let her come in.
What?
Let her come in. I'll let her find out what it feels like to be caged.
Tonight's case from the official FBI files will be reopened in just a moment.
June 6, 1947, this is your FBI on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, June 6, 1947, this is your FBI.
And now back to the FBI file, The Fugitive Traveler.
Tonight's case from the files of your FBI points up two important morals. Important because they concern you. The first is that wherever you are, however hidden your shelter may be, the The crime wave in this country is your problem because it is a wave that may wash up on your shore at any time. The second moral, and one which your FBI cannot impress upon you too strongly, is that you, the decent citizen, should have nothing whatever to do with any criminal. You do not help him by condoning his crime. Instead, you only endanger yourself and become an accessory to his crime. When you come in contact with a criminal, your duty is clear. You should do one thing and one thing only. Notify your local police. Tonight's file continues at the FBI field office. Special Agent Jim Taylor is just reporting to the agent in charge.
Mr. Henderson.
Yes, Jim.
Sending out that crew to cover the railroad tracks is what results.
Really? What happened?
They're pretty certain they've located the exact spot where Gibson left the freight train.
Good.
It's about 25 miles east of Centerville, near a community called Ridgewood.
Well, I know Ridgewood. I have a good sheriff up there. His name's Morgan.
Yes, that's right, sir. I just talked to him.
Oh, fine.
The track crew called him in on the case as soon as they established where Gibson had jumped. He's taking over right now.
I think you better get right down there, Jim.
All right, sir.
Get Morgan to work with you. I'm sure he'll be helpful.
Good. I'll let you have a report, sir, as soon as anything breaks.
Nan?
Yes.
How's your aunt?
I just brought her some soup.
You didn't untie her?
No. She was awful mad at me.
Well, she's lucky we brought her in the house. She could still be tied up in that barn.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Did the walk-in from the barn tire you?
No, I'm doing fine.
Rick? When do we leave here?
Just figuring that now. Look, what about this bank account?
My aunt?
Yeah. What is it, savings or checking?
She writes checks.
Would the bank take your signature?
Oh, no.
We got to get her to sign it.
Rip, I wish we could just leave here and forget about the money.
Are you kidding? You wouldn't get as far as that next corner.
Well, she'll never sign a check for you. I know she won't.
Where's the checkbook?
Over there in her sewing basket.
Bring it here. I'll get her to sign.
Sheriff Morgan?
That's right.
Hello, I'm Jim Taylor.
How do you do, Jim?
I'd know you. Any word on Gibson, sir?
Nothing yet, I'm afraid. We have a number of searching parties out looking for him.
I see.
Our bad break was that it rained last night.
How do you mean?
Well, as you know, Gibson's presence in this territory was established by that railroad crew who found bloodstains leading down that embankment.
Yes.
When I got out there, I picked up Gibson's trail. I followed it to a stream about 100 yards away. It's a shallow stream. Gibson waded into it.
Obviously, to avoid detection.
Right. Just at that point, the rain started. We worked both sides of the stream up and down for several miles, but we weren't able to find any trace of where he came out. The rain, of course, had washed it away.
I see. Oh, Sheriff, could you determine if he was bleeding much?
I think he lost quite a good deal of blood.
Well, then he couldn't have gotten very far.
I know. I've set up a house-to-house search for him.
Oh, I'd like to join you in that if I may.
You certainly can. Did you drive down here?
Yes.
Well, we'll divide up our assignment. I'll give you half a dozen farmhouses all on one road.
Okay.
You'll have no trouble finding them.
Fine. Let's have that list, and I'll get started.
Well, she signed a check.
Rip, was there any trouble?
Of course not. She was very happy to do it.
That's not true. You didn't hurt her.
I didn't have to. What time is it?
Almost 1 o'clock.
This bank stay open till 3?
I think so.
All right. You better get into town and cash this.
How much is it for?
$500.
Dollars?
What else? Keep going.
Rip, I don't think they'd give me that much money.
Look. You've got a check here with your aunt's signature on it. Tell them that she sent you in for the dough. Tell them she needs it to, take a trip.
Yes, but
They know you at the bank, don't they?
Yes.
All right, then get it.
Rip.
Get rid of whoever it is. I'll hide in here.
Hello.
Yes?
Are you Miss Carroll?
That's right.
My name is Taylor. I'm a special agent of the FBI.
Yes?
Here are my credentials.
What do you want here?
Well, I don't wish to alarm you, but we have every reason to believe there's rather a dangerous criminal at large somewhere in this vicinity.
Oh,
Have you seen any strangers around your place in the past 24 hours?
no, sir.
Well, I have the man's picture here. I'd like to have you look at it, please.
All right.
How will you try to remember him? And if you should see anyone resembling this man, get in touch with your sheriff at once.
I will.
But we know she won't. June 6, 1947, this is your FBI on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you for making us a part of your day. The conclusion follows these important messages from your favorite radio station. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Remember, we're available anytime online at classicradio.stream. Now the conclusion of This Is Your FBI, June 6, 1947, The Fugitive Traveler.
I understand you live here with your aunt.
That's right, but she's upstairs taking a nap.
Oh, I see. Well, just pass this information on to her, too, will you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, would you mind if I took a look around in your bar?
No, go ahead.
Thanks again. Goodbye, Miss Carroll.
Goodbye. Rip, he was from the FBI.
Yeah, I know. I heard the whole thing.
He's gone to the barn.
We won't find anything. I cleaned up around where I've been.
Oh.
Now, look, you wait long enough for them to pull away from here. Then get into town and cash that check.
Well, Jim, how'd you make out?
I didn't get a thing, Sheriff.
I drew a blank, too.
Look, I'll tell you what. I'll review all the calls I made and see if by any chance I missed a farmhouse.
Go ahead.
My first call was a family named Pastor, a man and wife.
Right. You have any trouble getting in?
No, why?
Well, they're not usually very sociable as strangers.
They were very cooperative.
Good.
My second call was a man named Stewart.
Old Pop Stewart. You have to shout at him, I bet.
He seemed pretty deaf.
He is.
My third stop was at the Carroll farmhouse.
Who'd you talk to, Nan or Aunt Bessie?
The girl, Nan. Her aunt was taking a nap.
Probably just as well. Aunt Bessie's a man-hater.
Oh?
She won't have one around the place.
Wait a minute. Not even a hired hand?
No, sir. Hasn't been a man around there in years.
Sheriff, I think we ought to go back to the Carroll place.
Rip.
I'm right here.
Oh,
I stayed behind the door just in case. Well, how'd you make out?
they cashed the check.
Good, baby. Let's have the dough.
Just a minute. Here.
Okay. Small bills. That's good. Where's the car?
Out back.
All right. Give me the keys.
Are we leaving right now?
Let's have the keys.
Don't you think we should do something about my aunt first? We just can't leave her tied up.
Honey, will you give me those keys?
Sure. Here. I'll go get my bag.
Wait.
What?
I've changed the schedule.
What do you mean?
You stay here.
Oh, no.
You heard me.
But everything we planned, the reason I did all this was to get away. You've got to take me with you, Rick.
No dice.
You promised.
Look, sweetheart, you're better off here.
I don't want to stay here. I want to go with you.
Honey, I might as well tell you right now. Going away with me was strictly a routine.
What?
What would I do with you?
All the things you said we'd do together. The places you'd take me. The clothes I'd get.
Baby, did you ever look at yourself in the mirror?
What do you mean?
Guys just don't go any place with an ugh like you.
Oh.
I'm getting out of here.
No, wait.
Let go.
You can't leave me here. You can't.
Let go, I said.
No, no.
You just stay put.
Hello, Gibson. You saved us the trouble of coming in for you.
Who are you?
A special agent of the FBI.
What?
I was just showing the sheriff here why I came back to this farmhouse. Your footprints there in the mud. Now I think we should arrange to put you back behind bars.
Ralph,
Gibson was returned to prison after being given an additional 20-year sentence in a state court for his brutal assault on the elderly farm woman. And thus another criminal was brought back after escape by your FBI and a local policeman. Another instance in which local authorities lent a very important hand to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Your FBI has stated before and wishes to repeat that it owes a great debt of gratitude to local police departments all over the nation for the cooperation it has received from those departments. And on this official broadcast, it wishes publicly to thank every local law enforcement agency in the United States.
The incidents used in tonight's Equitable Life Assurance Society's broadcast are adapted from the files of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. However, all names used are fictitious, and any similarity thereof to the names of persons living or dead is accidental. Tonight, the music was composed and conducted by Frederick Steiner. Your narrator was Dean Carlton, and Special Agent Taylor was played by Stacey Harris. This Is Your FBI is a Jerry Devine production. This is Larry Keating speaking for the Equitable Life Assurance Society of the United States and the Equitable Society's representative in your community.
June 6, 1947. This is your FBI on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Once again, we turn to Ted at RadioMemories.com here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox for another episode of Lum and Abner. And so many of you are enjoying hearing these shows for one of the first times in exceptional audio quality because Ted's restored so many of these. This episode, June 6, 1935, you realize that's almost 90 years ago? As squabbles continue over Lum and Abner's new motion picture, The Pine Ridge Planetarium.
Ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner, brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. All the arrangements for Lum and Abner's new picture show, the Pine Ridge Planetarium, have been running very smoothly until yesterday, when Squire Skimp propositioned the old fellows to take him in as a third partner. And when they refused, stated that he was going to open a picture show of his own, run them out of business. As we look in on our old friends today, we find them down at the Jot 'em Down store, very much worried over Squire's threats. Listen.
Well, Abner, it's either let him in with us or he's going to open up a show of his own, and you know that won't do.
Well, let him open one up. It'll be just as bad for him as it will for us.
Yeah, but there ain't enough business here in Pine Ridge for two picture shows. He never would have thought about putting one in if it hadn't been for you flying off in the handle and getting him mad.
I never flew off the handle. I just said that we didn't want no third partner in the business, and I don't.
Yeah, but you could have said it in a heap nicer way than you did. Telling him that if you're gonna have another partner, you wouldn't have him.
Well, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, but you can't come right out and say things like that to folks. You got to handle a feller like Squire Skimp with the gloves on.
You mean if I'd have had on a pair of gloves, why, it wouldn't have made him mad?
No, that's just an expression. It means you've got to handle him easy. Handle him with gloves on.
Yeah, I'd love to handle him with a pair of boxing gloves on. I ain't got no use for him at all, Every time we've ever had any dealings with him, why, we've took a skinning.
Well, it ain't that I want to take him in as a partner. I ain't got no love for him myself, but
I hate him to pieces.
We'd make a heap more money with him as a partner than we would if him putting in a show against us.
And I don't know where we would or not.
Well, there's just so much business here, and if he puts in a show too, why, he's going to get half of it, and me and you'll get the other half. Me and you'll just get one half between us, see, a fourth apiece. But if we take him in as a partner, why, we'll split it 3 ways. We'll get a third apiece.
Well, I don't know nothing about that, Lum, but I do know that I ain't going to stand for him being no partner with me and nothing.
Well, you're just getting stubborn, Abner.
No, now, there ain't no use to argue with me now, Lum. I've got my head set.
I'm not arguing with you, Abner. I'm just trying to reason with you. Here's a feller that's had a lot of experience running picture shows and knows all about them. And we've got a chance to take him in as a partner, and if we don't, he's going to open up competition against us. Looks like he's got us right where he wants us.
Well, I don't care. Huh?
I say I'm afraid Squire's got us right where he wants us.
Where?
Where what? What are you talking about?
Where does he want us?
Well, I don't know. Right where we're at, I reckon.
You mean he wants us here in the store?
Oh, of course not. The store ain't got nothing to do with it.
Well, that's where we're at.
I know where we're at.
Well, if he's got us where he wants us, well, it must be here in the store then.
You don't know what I'm talking about, Abner.
Oh, yeah. He thinks we're over at the picture show, huh?
No, I said he's got us where he wants us. I mean, he's got us to where we don't know which way to jump.
Jump?
Yeah, don't know which way to turn.
Well, now, which do you mean, turn or jump?
Either one, Abner. It's all the same.
You mean turning and jumping is all the same thing?
I don't know, not ordinary, but in this case it is. He's got us to where we don't know what to do.
Well, I ain't going to do nothing. I don't see how us jumping or turning, either one's going to keep him from putting in a picture show if he's a mind to do it.
Why, no, of course not.
Well, what do you want to do it for, then? You can't scare me into jumping.
Abner, you still don't know what I mean. I mean, Squire's got our hands tied to where we can't do nothing else.
Huh?
Ain't no use looking at your hands. I don't mean that they're sure enough tight. Can't you understand nothing?
Well, I thought you said that he had our hands tied.
I did.
Well, mine ain't. I know that. Yours ain't neither. Looky there.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Abner. You take everything I say literary. What I mean, Squire's got us where he wants... he's got us to where we don't know which way to... Our hands are... He's holding an axe over our head.
Oh, my goodness, my goodness.
What's the matter with... Sit down there. Sit down, for goodness
What
sake.
did you say about an axe?
I said he was holding an axe. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Well, if he's holding any axe over my head, I want to know about it.
He ain't holding nothing over your head, so
Well,
sit down.
what do you want to be starting such stories as that then for? Say one thing 1 minute and turn right around and say that you didn't mean it.
Well, you get a body so mixed up, you don't know what he's saying half the time.
Well, who wouldn't get mixed up with such talk as that? Saying my hands are tied, like I wouldn't know it if it was. Anybody can tell when their hands is tied.
When I say tied, Abner, I don't mean they're tied with a rope.
Well, what I'm telling you, though, they ain't tied with nothing. I can see.
Oh, my goodness. I started out a while ago to explain to you that Squire's got us right where... Squire is... Oh, I'll swan, Abner, if you don't try about his patience. I forgot now what it was I was trying to explain to you.
Well, it just looks to me like, Lum, that Squire's got things worked around to where he'll get the best of us either way we decide.
Well, I'll be dad blamed.
Huh?
That's just what I've been trying to say for the last 10 minutes.
Was that what you was trying to tell me?
Why, of course it was.
I just wish you could have heard what all you were saying. Are you feeling all right, Lum?
Why, of course I'm feeling all right. Where'd you get an idea like that?
Oh, nothing. But now, Lum, if I was you now, I wouldn't worry too much about this picture show and Squire Skimp. Everything's going to work out all right now. Just don't worry about it.
I ain't worrying about
there
it.
There comes Dick Huddleston out front there. You want me to tell him that you'd rather he wouldn't bother you now?
Well, he's not going to bother me. Why would Dick bother me?
Oh, nothing, but I want to see him about something private first.
Well, all right. I'll step out of the store if you want to see him.
No, that's all right. I'll just meet him up here at the front door. I just want to tell him something. Now, wait a minute, Dick. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, sure. What's the matter, Abner?
I just want to see you before you got back there with Lum. Dick, I'm just afraid that Lum's been worrying too much about this picture show. He's having spells.
Having spells?
Yeah, I believe his mind is a-wandering. He's sort of addled. You see, Squire Skimp come over here yesterday and tried to get us to take him in as a third partner in our picture show. And when we wouldn't do it, I just balked, just flatly refused to do it. And then he come out and made him mad, and he says now that he's going to open up a picture show here in a competition against us. And I think Lum's just worried about it so much that it's just affected his reasoning.
Well, I'll declare.
He was sitting back there a while ago. Appeared to be all right. Then all at once, why, he got it in his head that Squire had our hands tied together and was trying to kill us with an axe.
Well, for goodness sakes, Abner.
And now he appears to be back in his right mind again. It just sort of comes and goes, looks like. But I thought I better tell you so that you could sort of quiet him down if he gets started on it again.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's go on back there. Well, howdy, Lum.
Well, hello, Dick. Come on back. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, Dick's your friend, Lum. You know him, don't you, Dick Huddleston?
Why, of course I know him. What's eating on you anyway, Abner? Sit down, Dick.
Yeah, thanks. How you feeling, Lum?
Why, just only tolerably, Dick. Been worrying myself half crazy. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Oh, now, Lum, now you're all right. Now you just been worrying too much is all.
Squire Skimp's been trying to buy a third interest in our picture show and says if we don't sell it to him, he's going to open up another in here in Pine Ridge in competition to us.
Oh, well, I wouldn't let that worry me, Lum. He's just bluffing. Just trying to force you to sell.
Well, that's just the trouble about it. Can't tell where he's bluffing or not. He's got me to where I don't know which way to jump. Got our hands tied, looks like.
There he goes, Dick. Change the subject. Get him to talk about something else quick.
Sort of holding an axe over her head.
Oh, my goodness,
Threatening to put it. Abner, what are you whispering about? What's the matter with you anyway?
Nothing. That's not a thing now, Lum. Don't get excited now. Just sit down.
I can't talk to Dick and you over there whispering in his ear all the time. What would you do, Dick, if you was us?
Why, he won't go through with it, Lum. Just let him pop his whip.
Huh?
In the first place, where would he put it? There's not another vacant building in town that he could rent.
No, that's right. I don't believe there are.
Not a thing. And if he puts up a new one, why, it'd be a couple of months anyway before he could get it ready. That's a big job putting up a theater building.
Granny's, I hadn't thought about that.
Why, sure. You fellas just sit tight now and let him do the worrying.
Well, sir, I believe you're just right about it, Dick. I hadn't thought about that, having to put in a new building and all.
Why, sure he'll have to.
He couldn't put in one if he wanted to, could he?
Well, no, I don't believe he's got the money, Lum.
I don't believe there's a thing in the world to it.
Well, in the first place, Lum, there wouldn't be any point neither in taking him in as a partner.
Just a minute, Dick. I believe that was our ring, then.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, yeah.
Hello? This is him talking.
You don't know what he's doing right now.
Who? Oh, howdy, Mose. Mose moves.
Well?
How's that, Mose?
I'm the good man.
What was it? Well, what's the reasons you can't?
Oh, it appeared to have plenty of sense.
Well, here now, I done made a deal with you for 'em.
That is up till today.
Why, you said the lodge would be closed all summer and they wouldn't have no use for them chairs.
I bet he don't know what he's saying right now.
Squire Skimp. Well, what's he renting the whole lodge hall for? Huh? Oh, my goodness. Granny's Mose says they rented them chairs and the lodge hall and all to Squire Skimp. Says he's going to put in a moving picture show in over there. Granny,
Well, it looks like that axe that was hanging over Lum and Abner's head is about to drop. Did you know that the state of your children's teeth has a large bearing upon their health? Every dentist will tell you that this is an actual fact. So you can see how important it is that you look after their teeth as carefully as you can. There are two things to remember on the care of the teeth. One, they should receive regular attention. And two, the children's diet should contain elements essential for their correct development. The first you can get by taking your youngsters to the dentist regularly and following his advice. There is no substitute for that. The second, the essential elements, including minerals and vitamins, are to be found in Horlick's malted milk. Just remember these two things, and you'll have little to worry about your children's teeth. You can get the Horlick malted milk from your druggist in two flavors the children love, natural and chocolate. This is Carlton Brickert, speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who now bid you all good night and good health.
You got to watch out for Squire Skimp. He's always a couple of steps ahead of you and trying to figure out what he's going to do. Lum and Abner, June 6, 1935, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And thanks again to our friend Ted over at RadioMemories.com for supplying us all of these shows. RadioMemories.com. You can contact him. He sells shows on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer. So if you've got family members who just have cassettes and you want to share shows with them, easiest thing to do is get a hold of Ted. He does restoration and he also does distribution. That's at RadioMemories.com. RadioMemories.com. Thank you for tuning in. Thank this station. Support their advertisers. Their kindness and courtesy allows us to be here with you on your favorite station. Miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. All of our shows are available on demand at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. There's also a list of places there that have our shows available for podcasting. You can also find our social media links there, and you can also buy me a copy. The Buy Me a Copy money helps us acquire additional classic radio collections and maintain our distribution channels so we can be here on your favorite station. That's at classicradio.stream. Thank this station, support their advertisers, tell your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.